Hey everyone, I'm Amanda with Sweet Pieces, and today I'm coming to you from Madison's bedroom. Madison is my new baby girl, 8 months old. I wish she was here so I could show her to you, but she went off with grandma this morning. Anyway, I wanted to show you a little bit about taking care of your waxed furniture, how to take care of it. We get questions every day in the shop. Is Annie's wax durable? Is it good to use on furniture? People are very hesitant, and I am here to tell you that Annie's wax is fabulous. It is very, very durable, and it's super, super easy to touch up if you get any scuffs or scratches or marks in it. That's what I love so much about it. So all of Madison's furniture in her room was painted with chalk paint. This is a dresser that we did for her, and we also have a crib and a hutch on the other side of this room, which maybe we'll get a shot for you at the end. So she's 8 months, right? So we've been using this dresser for 8 months. This is her changing table. This is where she gets changed every day, day in, day out. We use the top of this constantly. You moms know how much use this kind of a dresser top is going to get with the changing going on. The changing, the poopy diapers, the boogies in the nose, I mean, everything. So it really is getting beat up. So first thing I want to talk to you about, I had a little bit of chipping here on the front of this. And this was, it's a combination of things. I probably didn't let it cure well enough before I started using it. Maybe I didn't clean this spot well enough before I did it. This is a spot that is getting highly rubbed up against constantly, probably, 10, 15 times a day. So the paint chipped off a little bit, and here is a photo of that to show you exactly what it looked like after it had chipped. So what I did was I touched this up. So what do if you do get a chip in your chalk paint, which is not really that likely, but it can happen, especially if you're doing like a really smooth, modern kind of a finish where you don't have any kind of variation in the finish, you're not layering colors and products. You can get a chip here or there. It's going to be more apparent in that kind of a finish, in this kind of a finish where it's modern and smooth. So what did I do? I actually took a little bit of sandpaper and I just lightly sanded it, almost to just remove the wax a little bit. Just sanded it very, very lightly, just so that it wasn't like a rough edge. And now it's painted, and you can see that there's a little bit of a variation between here and here, where there's wax here and no wax here yet. So I'm going to actually remove everything from her dresser. We have our little basket here with all our changing goodies, our hand sanitizer, which that gets a lot of use too. So now here's my dresser top, and you can get scuffs and marks in it. So I see a little bit of scuff here. If I take a rag and I wipe this, it's not coming off. There's a mark here. If I wipe that, it's not coming off. There's some marks over here. There's a mark here. There's just marks on here. And, if you take a rag and you wipe it. Now, I will tell you, I didn't try to use a cleaner on this. Probably a little bit of like a mild cleaner would take a little bit of this off. But I know that using wax is just the easiest way to touch up any kind of mistakes. Or any, scuffs, marks, whatever the case may be. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my Annie Sloan wax brush, my Annie Sloan clear wax, and then I also have a rag. We carry 2 types of rags at Sweet Pieces: shock towels, the blue towels. You'll see me use those often in the videos, and then also our waxing rags, which are really great. They are reusable. I wash them when they get dirty, and then you can reuse them. So what I'm going to do, I'll start over here. Let's get a spot. And you don't have to do a lot. So I'm just going to I put a tiny little bit of wax on my brush. I'm going to rub that area. And do you see? It's just going to come right out. So any kind of little spots, scuffs in the wax, any dirt marks, they're just going to come right out with just a little bit of wax. And you can see I don't really have that much wax on my brush at all. It's just a little bit of a coat. And I'm just continuing to use the brush to just rub out any of those marks. And maybe at this point I can just feel that there really isn't that much wax going onto my piece. So I might just re-dip again. So some people think that waxing is really hard, and if you watch my other video on, you know, how to wax, I'll show you that it's really not that hard. It should be a very, very simple process. Annie always says if you're working hard at a wax and you did to paint, you're doing something wrong. So you should just be, you know, wiping it on and just wiping it back really, really easily. Your second coat of wax is always going to go on so much easier than your first coat. And the reason for that is because the first coat of wax is absorbing into the paint. So it's going to take a little bit more wax to do that. And it's going to take, you know, a little bit more effort, so to speak. While your second coat of wax, this kind of a coat of wax where you're just kind of touching up marks and whatnot, that is going over wax. So it just goes on so much nicer. So you can kind of see, you can even like rub a little bit if you feel like there's something in there and you want to get it out. You can kind of rub a little bit and try to get out any marks. There might be, I think there's like some Desitin on here that could give you a little bit of a stain. But, you know, again, I'm not going to get crazy. This was so easy for me to do. I did it in a few hours because I used chalk paint. I didn't have to sand or prime. And then I did a quick coat of wax on it. It was easy peasy. It would have taken me probably days. And you ladies know who have been pregnant, doing that with a big giant belly, days and days of work is just no fun, not what you want to be doing while you're preggo. So this was so much easier. Instant gratification. Get it done. And what could this be? This could be, you know, from the bottom of the container. Maybe there was some dirt on it. So you just give it a little bit of a rub. And again, we're 8 months in here. And this is the first time that I've even touched this. And really, did it really need it? Probably not. But I want to show you guys how to take care of your stuff. So again, anytime you have any scuffs, scratches, marks that won't come out with a little bit of cleaner, you could just use your wax, just like a cleaner. I keep this under my sink. Anytime I feel like any of my furniture in the house needs a little refresher, I get it out. It takes 5 minutes. I have a brand new looking piece of furniture. It's wonderful. So let me show you this area over here where I just repainted it and how you would do this. I just keep seeing things and I want to get this done. It's going to take a quick few minutes. So again, this spot has no wax on it right now because I just painted it. But we're going to treat it the same way that I'm doing this. Just put a little bit of wax on my rag. Or on my brush, rather. And rub it over this. So I'm brushing. I'm spreading it all out. The wax is absorbing into everything. And as long as you really spread this wax, you shouldn't have to, some people say, oh, it's so hard to buff the wax out. No, it really shouldn't be. If you are spreading the wax appropriately and really rubbing it into the surface, you shouldn't have to rub that hard. You know, you can see I'm not rubbing hard. I'm just, I almost say it's like polishing. You're just kind of polishing the wax. And you can see once your rag is gliding smoothly across here, then you know that you have removed / buffed appropriately. You know, and if I run my hand over this, it feels nice and smooth. I can't even see where the old paint and the new paint is here in person. You could even do another quick coat if you want to, just another little coat. I always do I always say it's like 1.5 coats, because that first pass sometimes you don't get full coverage because you don't always see the wax. Whereas if you just do another quick coat on there, it'll just kind of cover everything up. So again, I'm just rubbing, I'm spreading, and then I'm just wiping it back. And that's it. Easy peasy. So how do you take care of your waxed furniture? You want to give it some ample time to cure. So what that means is, if you do your kitchen cabinets or you do a dining table, I wouldn't have Thanksgiving dinner on it in the first 30 days. I wouldn't maybe cook chicken cutlets with lots of oil splattering all over in the first 30 days with cabinets. You want to just kind of be mindful. If it's, a piece of furniture like this, I started using it right away. So, yes, this is a heavily used piece of furniture, but I went into this understanding I might have to touch up something here or there. And here we are 8 months later. I touched up a little bit. How long did this take me? 5-10 minutes while instructing you guys. It's super, super easy. So don't be afraid of the wax. It is very easy to use. You just want to use a mild cleaner on it if you are going to actually use a cleaner. A lot of times I just use a dust rag and just wipe everything down. If it is like a kitchen cabinet or a dining table that does need to be cleaned, then like I said, use a mild cleaner. Wax is water repellent. It's not waterproof. It is like a natural finish. So if you start using, bleach and all kinds of very heavy chemicals on it, you are going to start to eat away at the wax. Well, I have some customers that say, well, I have to use bleach on the table. Okay, well, if you use bleach on the table, then you might have to wax it more often than somebody who is using a very, very mild cleanser on it. I use this product. It's an all-natural product called Force of Nature. That's what I use on everything. It's basically like a mixture of vinegar and salt and electric and yada, yada, yada. Look it up if you want to. So just very natural cleaners. And like I said, if it's like a sideboard or just a little side table in the living room that isn't getting a lot of use, then you can use just a dust rag to clean it off. Super easy. So let me think, is there anything else that I want to tell you about taking care of your furniture? I talked about you want to just make sure that you give it some time to cure. Again, that's for more of your heavily used pieces. A piece like this, a dresser, I never take this stuff out to paint it unless it's already out in the garage. I might paint it out there, but most of the time I move the pieces in and I paint them right in place, which is exactly what I did with all of Madison's furniture. And I put stuff on this probably within a couple days. I put her little changing pad in her little basket, and I didn't get crazy with it. Could you wait a week or so? Sure, you could. It's really not that big of a deal. So that's some of my tips on waxing here. Just take a peek over here if you want to at, this is a crib that we did for Madison. I have a video on this, how we achieved this finish. This was a Restoration Hardware finish that we did on here. That cost like $1 bazillion. I have a whole video on exactly how to achieve this look. And then we also did a hutch. Don't mind our extra lighting here. This hutch here was done in the same exact finish. Super, super easy. Both of these pieces are waxed. You can see this does get used as well. This is kind of like where I fold her clothes. It's where, I take books out, figure out what book I want to read to her. So this definitely gets used. Doesn't get used quite as much as that one, obviously, because I'm not changing her on it. But this needs absolutely no touch-ups there. It's beautiful. It's got a nice silky shine to it. It's fantastic. So definitely don't be afraid to wax. It's very, very durable. You're going to love it. If you have questions, feel free to come into the store or visit your local stockist. We are here to help. So we want to know what's going on. What projects are you working on? We'll see you soon.